Well, Google already tracks your keystrokes, archives your emails, and records your appointments. Now, the search giant has new technology, putting your privacy at an even greater risk. We're going to explain that when we come up. Well,
are you Googling something?
I'm Googling something right now, actually. Big Brother or Google Brother. It's hard to tell. The internet monster already monitors your keystrokes, archives your emails, and keeps record of your appointments, but that's not all they do.
Some security analysts worry that Google's new operating system, it's called Chrome, will take it to the next level and put your privacy at an even greater risk. Here to explain is Michael Fertik, privacy expert and CEO and founder of ReputationDefender.com. Michael, thanks for being here. What is Google doing now that's worrisome?
Well, Google's basically trying to defeat Microsoft and kill it once and for all. That's the goal. They're building now what's called an operating system. An operating system is the very fundamental piece of software. It's the backbone of software on which all of your other software runs. So it's deeper and more substantial in its reach in your computer than your Gmail, than your desktop software, than your operating system on which you, your word processing software, your Microsoft Excel. It's the fundamental backbone of your operating system. And Google's trying to actually get into this market for the first time. Now, the risk is that an operating system reaches all of the information on your computer. Also, the risk with Google is that this operating system is going to operate in the cloud, which means that it's going to exist across lots and lots of different machines. Now, the good news is that the privacy security for this, in the end of the day, will be much stronger because a lot of different people are going to be building it over time. The risk, though, is that all of your information, not just what they see on Google, Gmail, not just what they see on your desktop, all the information from your browser will be visible to Google. Now, why is that a problem? Well, here's the scenario we can imagine. If you're around the internet, or if you're emailing your friends, or you're emailing your doctor about, let's say, the topic of breast cancer, that could be very interesting, say, to insurance companies. Insurance companies might figure out, quite reasonably, that if you're emailing people about breast cancer, you might be at a higher risk of actually having breast cancer. And now, with that information, if Google actually leaks it or ever sells it, I'm not saying they're going to, but if that ever happens, then you might not get insurance because the insurance company might figure out that you're more likely to have something like breast cancer.
All right, look, Michael, let me jump in here. Michael, let me jump in here because I think that's a big leap here. But let me just show people what we're talking about here on our screen. This is my desktop here, and among the apps that Google obviously features right now, as we scroll down here, we have got Google Chrome, of course, which is their browser, and they're working on Google Chrome OS, which we won't see till next year. They've got Google Earth, Google Finance, Google Health, and a lot of people storing their health records there, on and on and on. Maps, images, Latitude, Google Latitude, Talk, Reader, everything else about us is kept there. Now, let me ask you this and play the devil's advocate here, which is, right, okay, they're going to be targeting ads to me based on what's being said in my Gmail. Isn't that capitalism at work? Isn't that more targeted to me, and rather than me seeing ads for pantyhose, I'm seeing things for books that I might like and want to buy?
Yeah, I think it is capitalism, and for a certain extent, actually, I welcome it as a consumer. The only difference between Google and another company is it's just better at giving you ads. Now, just think about it this way, though, again, to play devil's advocate. The only difference between, say, Google in our imagination and, say, AT&T or Comcast is that we trust Google. The founders of Google are still there. We basically trust the ethics of Google, their orientation towards information. Whereas if people are asked, do they trust AT&T or Comcast, they might say no. Now, Comcast and AT&T have the same amount of information as Google does because, guess what? They own the pipe that goes into your house, so they see all the data that comes in and out of your computer via the internet. The only difference is that they're much older than Google. The founders aren't at AT&T and Comcast anymore. They're now run by business people. They've got a financial obligation to max out their income. Now, the difference is, again, is Comcast and AT&T, because we don't trust those kinds of companies on balance, they're actually a little bit regulated. In fact, in some cases, over-regulated, but they're a little bit regulated. Google is barely regulated. We're just entering the idea that other companies that are new like Google have as much or more information, but we still trust the founders. Is that how we want to run our society?
Well, we certainly wonder if we want the government having that information. We know who we trust. Michael Fertik from Reputation Defender, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thanks for breaking it down for us.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
All right, well, the guys from Bass Pro Shop are set up outside.